Hello, everybody. This is Raul Meza visiting you again with another audio podcast of content marketing from Believer Marketing. How are you today? And actually, that is what I'm going to talk about today, the importance of content marketing. Okay, now if you're new to marketing, you're going to really want to pay attention to this episode because as marketers, like any other thing that we do, we tend to develop bad habits when we don't know what we're doing. And sometimes creating choppy, quick, superficial contents just to get things done is a habit that we do because we're so busy with the marketing, right? But I think after today's podcast, you're going to learn that no. We need to do things right because we want results for us and our clients. And content marketing, it's just one of those things that you can't take for granted and you have to do right. So what is a good content marketing strategy for churches, ministries, and faith-based companies? Well, first, you really need to consider content marketing as the cornerstone of good marketing and long-term success for any niche, including ministries and faith-based. That is why the content that you produce needs to be of great value. It needs to be written with purpose and intent. Content marketing is an important tool for online businesses, especially if you want to get ahead of the competition. So in this podcast, we're going to cover the do's and don'ts of good content marketing and what's going to move the needle in your business. Let's go. All right. Content marketing is definitely a strategy that's going to help you build trust with your audience because it shows that you're willing to provide useful information without expecting anything in return. Content marketing is an important part of any business digital marketing strategy. It can help you reach more people, increase your website traffic, and improve your search engine ranking. How many of us love that? I do, because the higher you are in search engine rankings, the more traffic. It can also help you build relationships with potential customers by providing them with the useful information about your products. Okay? Content marketing strategy. What is your purpose? Hey, if you want to create effective content, then it's important to have a clear purpose for doing so. You need to know what kind of content will be most helpful to your target audience and how it will benefit them in the long run. If you don't have a clear purpose or goal in mind when creating content, it's not going to be as effective as it could be. Before deciding on what kind of content you want to create, think about the following questions. What do I want my audience to do after reading this? How will this benefit my target market? How will this help me achieve my goals? These questions, they're going to help you determine what kind of content would work best for your business, your product, or whatever project you happen to be working on at the moment. Once you know what kind of content you want to create, now you can begin working on your content marketing strategy. All right, content marketing strategy. What kind of content should I create? Well, now that you know what your purpose is, it's time to figure out what kind of content is going to help you achieve it. There are different kinds of content that can be used for effective content marketing. Here's a few examples, right? Blog posts, okay? Blog posts are one of the most popular types of content for businesses today. Look, they're easy to create, and they can be used to share information about your product or services, about your ministry, about your faith-based community with your audience. They can also be used to provide valuable information about certain topics, which will help build trust and credibility with your audience. Okay. Infographics. Hey, infographics is another type of content that's very popular among businesses today. They're easy to create, and they allow you to present information in an interesting way that's easy for people to understand. So basically, it's like a picture with information on it. Okay. That's what that is. And of course, videos. We all love videos. Videos are a great way to share information with your audience in an interesting way that's going to keep them engaged throughout the entire video, okay? They can be used as testimonials or case studies for your business or product, which is going to help you build trust with your potential customers. Ebooks. Okay, so ebooks is actually very well used in secular marketing, but for whatever reason, faith-based, they're just not using ebooks to their full potential. And I really think it's a loss because ebooks are great. Another great way to share valuable information with your audience. It's a convenient format, and they can read it at their own pace and in their own schedule. All right, so how long should your content marketing be? That's a big question I get all the time. How much should I write? Well, that really depends on what you're writing about. If you're writing an ebook, well, you're probably going to want to keep it short, right? A novel is going to be too long for some of these people when your whole goal is just to inform them. If you're writing an article for your blog, then you want to keep it, 500 words is good, unless it's a content piece, a pillar piece, and we'll talk about that later. If you're writing a review, about 400 words is good. The key here is to make sure the content is quality, no fluff. Anybody can write 400 words of fluff. Don't do fluff, do value, okay? So it's got to be beneficial to your readers. If they like what you've written, they're going to return to you again and again. That's the goal. Why? Because you're never going to convince anyone on the first time that they visit, right? I mean, you don't get married on your first date. At least most people don't. I know there's a few success stories out there, right? And same way, you're going to get a few people who are going to buy from you right off the bat. Just a few. But most people, it's going to take more than one time for them to know you, right? And to get to know about your products and services. So you want to create content that encourages them to come back so that you can build that trust and get there, okay? Now, should I blog? Well, blogging is a great way to share your content. I certainly am an active blogger, no doubt about it. You can always visit our blog at believermarketing.com. Traditionally, it ranks really well, and it creates great organic traffic for your topic or offer. If you're really trying to drive traffic to your site, blogging, it's the way to go. So what should you blog about? Well, the best thing that you can do is to write about something that you're passionate about. If you love writing and want to make money online, then writing about something that you like is going to be easy for you. If you want to drive traffic to your site, then make sure that the content is relevant. And again, here's the V word, valuable. That way, people are going to share with their friends and family, and they're going to come back again and again. And that's what you want. Should I use images? Yeah. Using images in your content is a great way to improve the quality of your content. Images are more likely to be shared than text. And you want people to share your content. So make sure you put an image on it, okay? Beyonce says, put a ring on it, okay? Blogs, put an image on it, baby. All right, so how much should I write a day? Well, the amount of time you spend on writing is going to depend on what your goals are. If you're trying to build links or drive traffic, then try spending at least an hour a day writing new content or updating old posts and, just working on new information. This is going to keep the search engines happy and help build authority for your site over time because they see that it's active. Very important. Should I use videos? Yeah, if there's anything more effective than images, it's videos. So if we encourage you to use images, we certainly encourage you to use videos. It's a great way of improving the quality of your content as well as increasing engagement with your audience. Videos are more likely than text-only posts to be shared by friends and family, just like images. And just remember that the videos, they got to be of value, no fluff, all right? Just value. Good content videos, they're always going to outperform fluff videos, period. Remember that you're not here to fool your clients into purchasing something, but instead, you're here to create trust. The sales, they'll follow. Don't worry about that right now. The sales will follow. Now, what should I do if I can't think of anything to write about? Well, if you're having trouble coming up with ideas, then try to use the following techniques. 1, write about a topic that you know a lot about. This is going to make it easier for you to come up with great content ideas. For instance, let's say that you work at the audio department in your church. Well, if you're doing content marketing for your church, you can certainly blog about the great worship music or the great equipment, or maybe you can speak directly to musicians on there by talking about some of the audio that you use at your church, or maybe, bring up certain topics like how to make a guest speaker, a guest singer happy, because everybody's different when it comes to sound check, right? So that's how you talk about something that you're passionate about in your blog. You know what you're doing, and you're gonna provide value whether you know it or not. You can also write about something controversial, because controversial topics are always interesting to read, and people will be more likely to share them with their friends and family. So what can be controversial in church? Oh my God, the list is long. Now, coming from a Hispanic faith-based community, I can tell you we have our share of legalism out there. So there's different things that become controversial that shouldn't. I'm going to go a little old school here. For instance, dancing. All right. Believe it or not, in our Hispanic faith community, there's certain churches that frown upon dancing, which is really interesting because you could have, and yes, this actually, true story happened to me. You can actually belong to a church that has an English service, which has no problem with dancing. And then you have a Spanish service, which dancing is a major no-no. Same pastor, just different cultures. So sometimes that could be real controversial. It's just one example, right, of controversy that can really bring up conversations, and people want to share that, okay? And, and if you're stuck, you can always use a keyword tool like Keyword Planner or Uber suggests to find topics that people are already looking for on Google. These tools are going to help you find what people are looking for so you can create content around those topics. In other words, you get to talk about what people are already looking for, so you kind of got built-in traffic that way. That's nice. How should I structure my content? The structure of your content is very important because it determines how easy it is for your readers to consume the information that you're providing for them. So with the structure of content, if it's too complicated, then readers, they're going to get frustrated and leave before they finish reading your post, which means fewer page views, less time on your site, and ultimately less traffic and sales for your business. So I'll go over a quick example of what a good post structure should be. First paragraph, introduction. Briefly describe what the article is about. Second paragraph, the body. Explain in detail what the article is about in detail. Third paragraph, conclusion. Summarize what was said in the previous paragraph. Simple structure, effective. Fourth paragraph, the call to action. Don't forget the call to action. Tell them to either sign up to your email list, subscribe, or share your content. You can also present an offer, but only if you've already built trust. If not, then the offer should be presented during your follow-up, and that's why you're asking for them to sign up for your email list or subscribe. Okay? Now, very important. You got to stick to your subject. Don't start talking about unrelated subjects just because you feel you have run out of content. Your readers, they're going to feel betrayed and you're going to lose your authority, so stick to your subject. Now, don't use too many images. The more images you have in your blog post or sales page, the longer it's going to take for your readers to load. That means less time on your site and ultimately less traffic and sales for your business. Make sure that your images are relevant to what you're talking about in your content. Pictures sometimes are used just to take up space and thus fluff. You don't want fluff. When putting your content together, this will help you. Okay, so when you're putting your content together, just recall a time when you searched for a solution to a problem. And remember the frustration you felt when you landed on a page that was so superficial that it felt like a commercial. It wasn't what you were looking for, right? Now, compare that to a time when you found a page that spoke to you and your problem. Remember how excited you were to keep reading and how you devoured the information? So did you look to see if the page provided a solution after that? Because most people do. If you did, then you remember how ready you were to purchase the solution from that source. That's the kind of content you want to create. You were in a buying state because trust had been established. So the next time you're ready to publish your content, ask yourself these questions. Is my content relevant to my reader? Does it offer a solution to their problem? Is it easy to read and understand? Is it engaging? Does it contain an emotional hook that will keep them reading? Will they be able to find what they're looking for on the page without having to scroll around? If any of the answers is no to any of those questions, then should you just skip it and post the content anyway? Well, the truth is that it depends. If this is regular everyday post that you do for consistency, then you'll probably be okay if one or two of those are a no. But if you are working on pillar content, then the answer is go back and fix it. I am definitely a shoot first from the hip, ask questions later type of guy, but not when I'm working on a pillar content. Good enough is probably good enough for most of your content, but again, not for your pillar content. So that begs to answer the next question. What is pillar content and why is it important? Pillar content is the content that brings the most value to your site's visitors. The reason it's so important is because it is the content that will help convert visitors into customers. It has so much value that they become believers. Believers in your products, believers and in you as a provider. Pillar content also has a way of bringing in more traffic and links than any other post. It's important to have a couple of these posts every month. The best way to do this is to plan and create a calendar for yourself. That way you can consistently have pillar content creation already programmed into your schedule. I know this seems like a lot of work, but it will pay off big time. It's what separates the people who play at being marketers and those who are marketers and do the work. And spiritually, this lines up with your work ethic. As believers, we're called to serve with excellence. And whatever you do, do it heartily as to the Lord and not to men. Colossians 3:23. This definitely, again, should apply to our marketing. It should be the heart of what we do. In return, we wind up putting up some excellent content that solves problem or leads people to the solution. This is what builds trust. Your readers will know that you're a straight shooter and can count on that. This will translate into faithful followers and buyers because customers buy from people they know, like, and trust. So let's make it you. All right, everybody, I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. As always, please remember to subscribe, okay? Remember to subscribe and go ahead and visit us at believermarketing.com. And now, no, I didn't forget. I promised you a gift at the beginning. That's right. So here's why I want to do the gift, okay? Here's my takedown on it. Obviously, I'm a firm believer in going to church on Sunday. It's impactful. The Lord asked us to do things. It's life-changing. And when you go on Sunday, often if you hear a message that really impacts you, it really gets you thinking for the next couple of days. It might even motivate you to make some changes in your life, right? But what happens after you're away from church a couple of days? What happens on Tuesday or Wednesday? The routine pulls you back into your old self. The environment pulls you back in to your old self and your old routines. That's why I'm a strong believer in also gathering either in circles or going to the service in the middle of the week so you have that continuity, okay? So when I'm asked to speak at churches and I present on different topics, especially when I'm a special guest at a church that I'm visiting, I always try to provide them a package or a service that I can provide for them because I know that when they get back to their normal environment, all the stuff that was taught to them that could change their life, they're not going to put into practice, right? They're not going to put into practice. But if I can send them home with something, actionable steps, then they have a much higher chances of creating change in their areas of the life that they need to, right? So I want to do the same for you because listening to this podcast, hopefully you're inspired, you're ready to take action, you understand the process. But if I don't give you some tools to go home with or to continue working on, you might lose the momentum. Or maybe you just need more clarity or more detail. So I have a 5-day content creation program. And what I'm going to do is I really want you to continue. I want to create value to you as my listener. So I'm going to give it to you for free. There's a link below. Go ahead and click on it, and I'll give you that for free for 5 days. And then I want you to let me know if it helped you establish a routine, what you learned from it and stuff. Okay, let's grow and learn together. Let me give you tools that I use that are a blessing to me so that it'll be a blessing to you. All right, so go into the note areas. There's a link. Also, if you go straight to our website, believermarketing.com, I also have it there for you. Okay. So remember to subscribe, and I will see you on the next podcast. Till then, God bless you.